Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here for representing my country's Indonesia to carry out a feedback for this 7th International Earth Science Olympiad, Mysore, India. The first thing I would like to say is thank you to all of you, the committee, subcommittee, the volunteer, the IGO, the Geological Society of India, and Professor Shankar that have invited us to this wonderful and amazing Earth Science Olympiad. I admire that this IESO have given us a lot of many so good and memorable things that we won't forget. The first thing is this IESO have given us opportunity to meet up some students and friends from other countries, and we could learn our cultural difference, and we know how diverse and how dynamic our Earth is. And from this event, we could learn and we could deepen our knowledge about Earth science. And aside from that, we could study how to communicate with each other, how to share ideas with each other, and how to work together with each other, especially from the IDFI and the research project program. And the last word from me is thank you and keep our friendship forever, unity in diversity, solidarity in society. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. I'm Dan. I'm from Romania. The first thing I wanted to say when I heard I was supposed to deliver a speech was congratulations, India! Congratulations to the organizing committee. Congratulations to the volunteers. Congratulations for this. It was an amazing organization. Thank you all. Can I get a round of applause for the organizing team? Thank you. When we first arrived, me and my team, when we first arrived at IESO campus, I was really excited. I was charmed to see the campus, how big it was and how nice it was, and I was so happy that it has chosen to host us. Our tests were very good. They were clear and they were very interesting. So congratulations to the team that proposed them, that created them. The team field investigation and the research project were something new that I had never done before, and it really achieved. You really achieved your goal with it. You improved international cooperation, as you said. I want to thank all the students from all the countries for being here the last 10 days. Because when Mr. Taylor put us to point our head to our friends, I didn't have enough hands to point to everyone. And yeah. It was a really amazing experience with the help of the project and the international team investigation. Now I can look to all these flags, or almost every flag, and I can say, wow, I know people from all these countries, and it feels amazing. So thank you all. I know I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna miss everything. I'm gonna miss the campus, the bike trips. I'm gonna miss the spicy food, of course. I'm gonna miss you people. I'm gonna miss, of course, the whole IESO concept. And right now, I'm just sad I can't participate in IESO again. So thank you for everything.
안녕하세요. which means hello. I'm Sangwan from South Korea. I was very nervous when I was first selected as representative of South Korea for IESO. And I'm very happy because I have very special time in Mysore, India. In the beginning of IESO, I had experienced new culture in sightseeing through Mysore. There are lots of different species of animals and lots of rainfall in India. And there were various statues and temples, and we could enjoy interesting time without shoes and socks. These experiences were most fresh and interesting experience in my life. Also, I could meet friends from all around the earth. There were friends who were very kind and had friendly smiles to me even we meet for a short time. ITFI and projects about monsoon are awesome chance for cooperation between friends and also chance for feeling our passion toward earth science. During the time I had with my friend at night, I noticed many common things and different things. However, it was fun anyway, and I could make lots of good friends. Actually, when I arrived at Bangalore airport and come to Infosys campus, I felt little difficulties to have very spicy food in India. But now I love Indian food, especially chicken curry. The 7th International Earth Science Olympiad in Infosys campus, Mysore, India, was precious chance to meeting international friends who love the earth science and our planet, Mother Earth, and having wonderful time with them. And so, I'm very appreciating to IESO and every people for fantastic time and chance that I had for last 9 days. Special thanks to Korean mentors and my friend Hee-jun Kim, Jiho Lee, Minyoung Lee. Thank you.
Dear student, mentors, observers, scientific committee, organizing committee, all volunteers, just thank you all for being a part of this amazing event, which is called the 7th International Earth Science Olympiad. Our team is very pleased to be participating in this competition. Yeah. Actually, everyone will be agree that this competition is it's an unusual one. It's not a simple Olympiad. It's a mixture of 4 different Olympiads that can provide us the understanding of the problems and issues that exist in the world, in our Earth. So, actually, this competition based on practical skills and knowledge. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So this competition based on the practical skills and theoretical skills, just it helps us to appreciate the earth and save and protect, and it It helps us to appreciate the earth and teach how to save and protect it. Actually, as I'm a student that took part in participating in this Olympiad, I can say that this competition gives a huge opportunity to check our force and just enjoy the time by doing some information. So let's just say something. Actually, it was very amazing time. I'll be missing of every minute we spent together. Actually, I'll be missing of that nights, just companies gathering, just that fun, that new friends, that new meetings we had. I'll be missing of that volunteers that took care of us every second, every minute. I'll be missing all this atmosphere, this homey atmosphere which have been provided by this Emphasis campus. It's a real new world. It's an amazing world. Actually, when I was coming to India, I thought that some danger will be, even danger will be going after me in every step. But when we get to Emphasis campus, it's really safety is everywhere. Just thank you to organizers that you provide us such conditions. So I want to say thank you to all people that had part in this competition, in this event, because it was really perfect. Thank you.
Hello. So this is the first time for Austria that it sends a team here, and we are all so thankful to have the opportunity for that, because we were having a lot of fun in the evenings, and we learned a lot as well in the preparation time. As here, we learned, we get to know a lot of cultures here from all over the world, and we have new friends. And we were gaining a lot of experience, like Indian traffic and spicy food. And the organization was such nice. We all went so well. And I can imagine that it's really difficult to get over 100 students to work together. And it was really a great experience for all of us. Thank you.
Okay. I know a lot of you had long nights yesterday, but I am the last speaker in the feedback session, so you can start waking up. Yeah. So, I think it will be unfair not to start with congratulating the Geological Society of India, the Infosys, and Professor Shankar and the rest of the organizers for giving us such an amazing experience here, which was unparalleled with what I have ever experienced before. I will postpone rest of the pleasantries for lunch and get to the specifics now. I have 3 minutes. I will take about half a minute for each issue that I have written over here. First thing that I would like to focus on is, although a lot of us tried to thank the volunteers here, but I think they did not still get the thanks that they deserve. Volunteers here were better than any other conference or event that I have experienced. The spirit of service in them was so good that they didn't even allow us to keep our bags, to have the discomfort of keeping our bags on our trails. So thank you so much to the volunteers. Now I will move on to IESO, and the new things that we have tried here and how I think they have played out and how I think they can be improved. So one new thing that has been tried in IESO, probably it may have been tried before, but it is not very common, is extensive private participation in the organization of IESO. We all know and we all see that it has been extremely successful, and from this we can take a cue that similar private participation can be encouraged in future IESOs. I can assure you that had there been no private participation or participation of private company like Infosys, our experience may have been lesser by an order of magnitude. Next thing that I want to move to is the experience that we have had here. So, Earth Science Olympiad. I believe the main aims of the Earth Science Olympiad, I have listed down here so that I don't forget it, are giving research experience to the students, promoting international cooperation and interaction, and improving systems understanding. Now the tests that happen on the first 4 days are only the most unnecessary part of the IESO. It is great that they are finished very soon, and I believe all of us don't need to be here for the tests, because in today's world we can, if we only have to give the tests, we can give them online. So we are here for promoting these 3 things. Now an initiative which was taken in this IESO called the Earth Systems Project was aimed towards having all 3 of these things in one event. Giving research experience, I will repeat them again, giving research experience, promoting international collaboration, and improving systems understanding. Now my 2 pence in this event is that maybe we can separate the 3 aims and have the systems, include the testing of the systems understanding as part of the tests, have the international collaboration as part of the field trip, and have the research exposure as part of a project from next IESOs, and we can then have that research exposure. We can ask the students, the teams, to bring a research poster from their own countries. They can prepare them, they can take much more time, and they can come up with a much better research poster instead of getting just 24 hours. The next thing that I move on to is one amazing thing, a very nice thing that was done this time by the Geological Society of India was involvement of local schools in IESO, both students in the competitions and teachers in the activities for mentors. It was only partially successful this time. There were some concerns about the nature of IESO as being for the special students getting compromised if we involve a lot of students from local schools. To this effect, I would like to say that exclusivity doesn't lead us anywhere, friends. We need to be inclusive. We need to make as good use of IESO as possible for as many people as possible. Exclusivity argument for me, friends, is weak at best. From all the countries that are here, there will be a large portion of the population who doesn't have access to coming over here and participating in such a competition. So, as for India, 95% of people who are studying in schools right now, 95% of them will not join university or college. So exclusivity doesn't behove us. We need to be inclusive and we need to have as much participation as possible. The last thing that I will like to go to is another interesting thing happened was the local school visit yesterday. I would like to tell the organizers that it would have been better if you would have visited a school of the government of India where 90% of Indian kids study, which has paint falling off from the ceilings, where students come only because they are given food by the government of India, free food by the government of India. That would have presented a true picture of India, and that would have given those little students to have first interaction with somebody from other countries and students from other countries, and they would have felt really happy. And it would have been so amazing to see smiles on their faces instead of visiting the private schools. So I believe that's all I have to say. Thank you so much again for the great experience. Thank you.
Hello to everyone. Before I start, I'd like to just thank the previous speaker, because he just did a really wonderful job, and that what he did and the way he did it is just what we like to hear of all IESO participants in the future. So I hope you stay with, I don't know where did you go, but, so I hope you stay with the IESO family for much longer. Dear dignitaries, guests, local organizing committee, national teams and observers. Let me go back to the origin of the IESO to explain my personal involvement in this wonderful event that right now has brought young people from 27 nations to India to work together and find solutions for problems of our planet Earth. 7 years ago, I was sitting on a bench in the garden of University by Road. I had organized Geoscience at 5 together with Gabi Obermeier. Toward the end of this conference, Ian Clark, who was the chair of IGEO at that time, joined me and offered the IGEO chair position to me. He explained that it would be a 12-year commitment, and that my little baby son, then 6 months old, would be 12 by the time I would have fulfilled my duty. So he's 7 years old now, another 5 to go. For your information, IGEO's chairs attend 4 years as vice chair. Afterwards, they attend 4 years as chair, and then another 4 years as vice chair. It may be interesting for you that Shankar will be the chair from 2014 to 2018. I'm personally very happy about this. I do remember well Professor Song, how Professor Song invited all participants of Geoscience at 5 to join the first Olympiad in Korea. Thus, Geoscience at 5 is the cradle of IESO, and Professor Song, the daddy. We all appreciate his encouraging words. Today will be the first time that he is not passing the flag from the recent to the future organizer. Geoscience at 6 took place 4 years later and had already a session on IESO. Geoscience at 7 next year here in India will consider IESO concerns in many geoscientific and educational sessions. Thus, I am extremely happy to hear that Japan and Russia intend to do geoscience education research on aspects of IESO. I got involved in IESO 3 years ago, when I became IGEO chair. As you know, the IGEO chair is automatically the chair of the IESO advisory board. During Italian's IESO pre-conference, I learned that IESO was already matured and a fully developed science competition. Many elements were well established. The inauguration, marching in with national flags, written and practical tests, preparations and translations, testing itself, cultural programs, geoscientific talks, local school visits, international team field investigation, test revising, mediation, medal assignment, award presentation, handing over the IESO flag, the farewell party. Every single local organizer has done a tremendous job organizing those mega events. At the same time, it became obvious that the communication and decision-making structures were not sufficient anymore for the increasing number of participating countries. However, the IESO initiators had this success already foreseen. Already in 2006, an advisory board was established and a syllabus as well as statutes are available. Since Argentina, the IESO bodies, advisory boards, coordinating committee, are reinforced according to these statutes. I'm delighted to see that the Indian team has maintained the democratic structures throughout the competition. Thank you for that. Please remember, we were all able to decide changes for the statutes in a small amount of time. The Indian Organizing Committee did an impressive job for IESO 2013, and we heard a lot of examples already. Not only were we extremely well looked after, we also lived on the safe and comfortable campus, enjoying 3 hot meals of marvelous Indian food a day. I take the opportunity to point one number out to you. 92 people helped organizing this event. Of those 92 people, 54 were volunteers. So, just thank you again. Included, item quality was improved. The ITFE has been extended by the fact that students get their assignment one day in advance and evaluation criteria were given to them. Tom and Beth already said that they will follow up this path, which I really like. Furthermore, the systems projects were newly established. So altogether, we all have experienced a wonderful IESO with an extremely warm welcome from everybody on the campus, on the street, and in local schools. The students told me that they enjoyed their stay here very much, and I hope that at least some will do something connected with earth science in future. Again, I'd like to express a very deep thank you to the local organizing committee and to Professor Schmidt.
Something very important. I would like to thank all the students for sharing their sweet experiences. Can I have a very big round of applause for all the students, please? Ladies and gentlemen, Associate Vice President of Infosys to deliver his address from the distinguished position of a chief guest of today's function.
Good morning, everyone. I hope it is still good morning here. So I think it's a great privilege for me here to be part of this wonderful event, 7th International Earth Science Olympiad. And I do understand that first time it is happening in India, and it's a great privilege to host this. First time whatever event is happening in India, we are actually hosting it in Infosys, and that too in Mysore Infosys, in our campus. So it's a great privilege for all of us, and it's a wonderful event. And in the last 1.5 hours, whatever I've heard so far from the eminent speakers, the mentors, the students, it's an overwhelming experience. I think I'm sure the last 10 to 12 days, the Earth Science Olympiad that you had in our campus, I'm sure you all really enjoyed it. And whatever I could hear from all of you, it was a great platform for people, students coming from different countries, more than 27, 28 countries, come together and come up with a solution for the problems the Earth is facing today. I think it's a wonderful initiative, wonderful focus area, because a good platform for people to come together, interact, come together with different cultures, understand the problems faced by the Earth, and then come up with a solution. So, in fact, it is an eye-opener for me also, because I was always hearing about the Science Olympiad, Mathematics Olympiad, but Earth Science, though we knew about it, I knew about it, but I think I never thought an event like this is happening every year, right? So, I think it's a great eye-opener for me too. and I'm gaining a lot of interest in the last 1.5 hours. I'm gaining interest on what it is, what more to learn for me as well as for the students community. I think even in India, I think in the school and colleges, I think earth science is going to be a major topic of interest for students going forward, because I know even my own daughter, she studies in one of the schools here. She takes that science Olympiad, maths Olympiad, but she was not talking about earth science Olympiad. But I think going forward, definitely this is going to be the topic and focus area for all the students community in India also. And I'm really overwhelmed with the participation coming from different countries, 27 countries, and someone was talking about saying that next year it will be even more countries would participate, right? So it is really a good thing to happen, because this is a good initiative, because you are all coming together to solve the problem of the earth based. I mean, today in different countries, different geographies, we are seeing a lot of problems faced by a lot of issues on the earth. I mean, environmental issues. The monsoon is not coming at right time. So a lot of issues faced, and human beings are actually affected by it. So I think it's a very good event to have this every year, and first time it is happening in India. Great privilege, great event, and I understand that next year it's happening in USA. So I think definitely an event where we are proud of having this in our campus. And in the last 10-12 days, I hear that a lot of competitions, a lot of collaborative support from different teams coming from different countries. And congratulations to all the people who got the awards, and congratulations to all the participants as well, because award is not just one thing that people really look for. But I'm sure people who got the awards will be doubly happy, and congratulations to all of you, the participants and people who got the awards, all of you. I think the organizing committee, I think more than 70 or 80 people were part of this organizing committee. I keep hearing Professor Shankar's name in each and every speech. I'm sure Professor Shankar led it in a wonderful way. And thanks to all of you. Thanks to the eminent speakers, the eminent distinguished guests, and all of you. I think made it very successful. Not to take more time, so we will look forward for another opportunity, if not the 8th one, probably the 9th one and 10th one or whatever. So to again host it in our campus, so it is going to be our we look forward for that, and it's going to be our creative event.
Very special experience for all of us, and it was made special further by the Infosys campus, which was a beautiful experience. Thank you. I now call upon Shri D.V. Pichumuttu, who is the guest of honor of today's event, to address the gathering.
Namaste. I hope I can. Am I heard? Is it okay? Can you hear me? It's a great privilege to be present here, and I'm deeply honored that I've been invited to give this talk to you. It's been a first for me also. I've never seen this sort of Olympiad earlier. Also, the first time I've come to this Infosys campus. So all in all, it's a beautiful experience. And I'm thankful to the Geological Society especially who have invited me over here. So I am a mining engineer, which is a bit of a misfit in a gathering like this, because I saw from the brochure also geology, geophysics, everything is mentioned, but mining is not included. Maybe because it's the next step after that, and where we probably the geologists and geophysicists stop, we take over there. So it's been a great experience for me. But I must say, my connection with geology is symbiotic. Because as you heard earlier from Professor Shankar, my father was a geologist. He was not only an academician, he was also a good field geologist, which combination I'm told is not very common nowadays. Those who are in academics don't do much of field work and vice versa. So I grew up in that atmosphere, and right from my childhood I was hearing expressions like close-bed granite and charnokite and all that. And actually that was the reason why I got interested in mining, because I used to accompany my father when he was Director of Mines and Geology. And I visited some of the mines which the Mysore Geological Department themselves used to run those days, including the Bellara gold mine. The small mine we had. First time I could go underground and saw what the mine is really like. And I got interested and ultimately I joined the Indian School of Mines, and that's how I came into this field. So that was and I was really impressed by the way the whole thing has been conducted. I could not take part in the earlier ones, but I came to know all the field work and all the competitions, etc. It must have been a tremendous organizational effort, because I just took part in the photographic session this morning and I could see what a big problem it is to organize. And my goodness, I have never smiled so much. And by the time we I think it was smile number 24, and then we had the photograph. And I heard Mr. Saukar saying anymore, and we'll all start crying. So you can imagine the tremendous efforts which have gone into organizing this over the last 10 days. It must have been a really praiseworthy effort, I must say. See, the other thing is, how does really mining come in the picture? Because you have also this aspect of economic geology, which probably was not touched upon. I don't know if it was touched upon earlier. So after you do all this exploration, everything, what next? So there have to be some economic benefits for the people, for the countries. So that's where the mining comes in. We start exploitation of the minerals which are found by all of you, which have to be put to use. We sometimes don't realize, the basic things which are required are steel and cement in our so-called civilization, what we are having. You cannot have steel or you cannot have cement without the mining. Unless you have the iron ore, the coal, the limestone, there will be no mining. In fact, if you all have your cell phones, your computers, there are a lot of products of mining used in those which we don't realize. So this is the relationship as well as the benefits of mining with the geology discipline. It's also discipline which generates a lot of employment. See, mining gives a lot of employment, particularly in backward areas. And in developing countries, this is a major benefit, that mining provides a lot of employment, and particularly in backward areas, a lot of unskilled labor is required, plus nowadays more and more skilled labor are required. So this is where we also have to think about the benefits of the industry of the mining. There is also a lot of scaremongering going on that we are running out of resources. For example, in our state of Karnataka itself, some very responsible persons gave statements that we are going to run out of iron ore in about 15 years, which is absolutely false. If you see the statistics provided by the Indian Bureau of Mines, which is the official organ of the Government of India under the Ministry of Mines, we have been continuously mining iron ore. Almost now we have reached something like 200 million tons per annum. But if you see the statistics every year, the resources available are also going up. How does it happen? It happens because of exploration. And that is where the geologists, the geophysicists also play a major role. Constantly exploration is going on, and that also helps to increase the resources. So in spite of constantly exploring and extracting the mineral, the resource base is going up. So there is no danger that you're going to run out of it in 15, 20 years. In fact, what we see as of now, available knowledge tells us iron ore in India will last for about 200 years at least. And then another thing which is happening, substitutes are also being found. And that is where you will find in construction buildings, you will find a lot of aluminium is being used instead of steel. Similarly, in the automobile, the metal content is also coming down. A lot of plastics are being used, advanced materials are being used even in engines and all that. So this is a continuous process, and I don't think we should feel so pessimistic that we are going to run out of iron ore or run out of this. Another problem which I want to touch is in India. we are having a problem which is called the current account deficit. In simple terms, it means we are importing more than we are exporting in terms of dollars. And in fact, the biggest component of that is the import of oil, petroleum as we call it commonly. We have to import 80% of our requirements, and that is leading to a big outflow in terms of dollars. Here, oil or petroleum is also a mineral. In fact, earlier, the 19th century, oil was only known to exist in the northeastern part of India, Assam. Later on, it came offshore, the west coast. Oil was discovered. It helped us tide over a lot of problems. In that case, I must appreciate our friends from Russia. They played a major role in helping us to find oil off the west coast. Now you must have heard that there's a lot of discoveries going on the east coast. Also in Rajasthan, the state in the northwest of India, also there are a lot of oil found. So things are looking up, but we have still got a long way to go. Second major component of our imports is gold. Now, Indians are very fond of gold for various reasons. It's also a very good hedge against inflation. I don't know, many of you must have seen the Mysore Palace, you must have seen the old paintings where the princess and Maharanis used to have a lot of gold ornaments, gold in the ear, gold on the nose, everywhere. And I don't know if you've seen in some of the paintings, there is a belt the ladies wear. And that used to be also pure gold. And just to take a little sidetrack, I'll tell you, in India, we have what are called arranged marriages. The parents of the two sides get together, discuss, and then the marriage takes place. So there was a story that earlier days, plump brides were preferred. The reason was the plumper the bride, the more gold will be around her waist. So this was one of the things that they thought about, but I don't think that was really the main reason. So this gold is the second one. Similarly, these are two which are being imported. Exports, iron ore was a very big item of export. The reason why we are exporting a lot of iron ore is our iron ore is very friable. So when you produce lumps which are mainly used in the blast furnaces or in sponge iron plants, fines are also produced for which there was more market. And these were being exported. Also low grade ores from Goa were being exported. Now there were various reasons, we will not go into that. Judicial interventions took place. Politicians, bureaucrats also condemned the mining, and the media blew it up in a big way, and exports were all cut down drastically. Now, this has also widened the deficit. So we have to do something about it. We are working on it. We are talking to the government officials. Hopefully this will also be sorted out. Then basically, because the students are here, on this education side, I think we have got a long way to go to educate the children on the earth sciences. Syllabi have to be probably revised and made available. Somebody was mentioning if you add earth sciences, there will be one more book on the back of the poor child which carries his heavy bags. But I think we can use technology, we can use internet, we can use computers to avoid loading the children with one more extra book. And I think all of you brilliant teachers and mentors are here. You can probably work it out. Probably it may be common syllabi across the countries even, but something which can be easy and children can easily pick up, and more importantly, drive the interest in them to get into these things. I think this we should also think about. You are all the brains trust is here, I can see. So you could possibly work out something, and maybe you think about it for your next conference. Then employment is also what I'm saying, something which at least in developing countries, even in developed countries, it's a major issue. So earth sciences can be used to generate more employment, in turn more mining, in turn more economic benefits. I think all these may need to be considered. So once again, I congratulate all of you, all the organizers, volunteers particularly, and it must have been a tremendous job. So many volunteers, I never realized till our chairman said, I think quite a sizable number of volunteers are there. All of them deserve their appreciation. So thank you all, and thank you for inviting me here.
And now, coming to the most important part of the function, I think I have the attention of all the students. It is the award ceremony. Yeah. So the organizing of an event is a task which requires a lot of hands. It is not easy to just organize an event. It requires volunteers who have to have exceptional dedication. So to appreciate them is of utmost importance. A big hand for all the volunteers, please. So I'll be reading out the list and I request all the volunteers to come on the stage. The first will be Akhil Kumar K, Akhil MS, Ananya Vasudev, Dr. Anish Kumar Warrior, Annapurna, Antoinette, Babu Setu, Baby Shweta, Bhanu Prakash and Ebin Chaku. And I request Dr. Silkha Walsh to give them the honor. The volunteers accepting the certificate are required to step ahead. The first will be Akhil Kumar K. Please step ahead. Thank you. Volunteers, please be ready. It is Emmanuel Christopher, Felsi, Habib, Harshavardhan, Jaikumar, Jeevan, Krishnendu, Lata, Lavanya and Lokesh Bharmi. Please be ready. The next batch of volunteers, please be ready. Will be Mahantesh, Mani, Maria Goret, Marisa and Mary Singh. be ready. Nagaraju KN, Naman, Nitish, Patrick, Pradeep and Pramila. Please be ready. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. We have to give away the certificates and the mementos for the scientific committee. The first being Dr. R. Shankar, Dr. T. A. Vishwanath, Dr. V. S. Kale, Dr. Devapriya Chattopadhyaya, Dr. G. Chandrakant.
Thank you.
Thank you.